ladies and gentlemen. Welcome
10
to a
seconds
best
to
of
go.
three series in the third day of the Amateur Weekend Cup
5 seconds.
in,
5
it's a
seconds.
revival for 2014. It is March. My name is Cold Blood, and we will go ahead and jump
Radiant's
straight
pick.
into the hero select here. It is between Team Sorry Who Are You and the Vietnamese Dream Team. Didn't actually know it was Sorry Who Are You until we actually got into the hero draft, because they were just Team Sway up until now, and a big respect to the Team Sway guys, because they were here on time. They waited 21 minutes for the Vietnamese Dream Team to finish their game, and they
10
went without
seconds to
penalty. They
go.
were happy. They just wanted to come play, so big respect to them. And hopefully they get a good game like they deserve. So we can see already that Bristleback, Invoker,
Dyer's pick.
Death Prophet, and the Timbersaw have been banned out thus far. So we're starting off with the off-laners being banned out. Clockwork still available, and of course he does get picked up pretty quickly. Invoker and Death Prophet were the other bans out, so the mid lane being focused a little bit as well. They're not too concerned about carries or supports, and we have an Ember Spirit for the
10
Vietnamese Dream
seconds to
Team, the
go.
VDT guys. We can assume that's going mid for the time being, but he can do quite well
Dyer's ban.
in a kill lane because of those shackles and just the massive amount of damage he
Radiant's
puts out
ban.
with Flame Guard. And Lena has been locked in. She's a strong support, can put out a lot of damage, scales quite well because of the Fiery Soul, allows her to get a lot of attack speed, and then of course her burst is just ridiculous if she lands her 2 skill shots. The
10
other side,
seconds
we've got
to
the
go.
Shadow Shaman has been locked in. He has an awesome support, provides a lot to the
5
table, and
seconds.
AoE nuke. He's got a Hex that lasts a very long time. He can channel to keep someone down, and then the Mass Serpent Ward, he
Radiant's
could
banned.
lock someone in between those, although Ember Spirit, not the easiest to lock down. And already we can see the supports now being focused by all 4 of the bans actually. Shadow Demon,
Radiant's pick.
Lion, Visage, and Rubik have been banned out. Vietnamese Dream Team banning out the Spell Stealer. They may want to go for the big Teamfight Ultimates. Not quite sure yet. We'll have to see what they decide to go for. You're very welcome to talk in the Twitch chat, guys. I'll try and interact with you. And Sand King has
Dyer's
been
pick.
locked in now. I do like
Radiant's
that
pick.
synergy because, of course, Burrow Strike, a strong nuke, and crowd control, and then Shadow Shaman, one of the best at locking someone in place. And then Bounty Hunter instantly being locked in by Vietnamese Dream Team. So if it is indeed the Ember Spirit in the mid lane and the Bounty Hunter on the off lane, it's quite a squishy lineup for them thus far, but a lot of damage, a lot of physical damage. And I mean, Ember Spirit does a decent bit of
10
magic as
seconds
well,
to
and he can
go.
be quite tanky. But yeah, the
5
Bounty Hunter,
seconds,
he
5
is
seconds.
a bit of a safe pick because all he needs is a few levels and a medallion of courage, and then he can
Dyer's
assassinate
pick.
people very easily. And you have to keep in mind, track gives bonus gold, so if his team starts snowballing, they'll snowball all the harder because of it. Now we have the Magnus and the Ogre
Radiant's
Magi
pick.
being locked in, so a lot of fire on the side of Vietnamese Dream Team for their supports. They've still got their carry left open, as have the other side here, the Team Sway guys. Magnus will be
seconds
going
to
into the
go.
mid against Ember Spirit. We did see this matchup last
5
night,
seconds. 5
and it
seconds.
went quite well for the Magnus. They just kind of ignored each other at the start and then started making plays. We'll have to see if
Reserve
either of
time.
them can roam as much as the 2 mids were last night. Trying to remember who was playing. Can't think right now.
Dyer's
And
ban.
we got the bands coming out. Phantom Assassin, that's an interesting band by the
Radiant's
VTD
pick.
guys. They must be targeted because she's not very common these days. And then Queen of Pain banned out from the Sorry Who Are You. So they're expecting the Ember Spirit to go as a carry. So we'll have to see if their assumption is correct. Shout out to Captain Kirk SCD. Must be a guy from Southern Cross Dota. They are awesome over there. Hopefully Tide's Wrath will start soon. Shout out to Mindager, who's saying hello.
10 seconds to
And they're
go.
ready to watch some Dota. And Snapshot
5
asking me to
seconds.
add him. I did see the thing pop up. I'm not sure if you guys saw it on the stream, but I got added by Snapshot.
Reserve time.
I'll have to quickly accept that because, of course, he's a very patient man, and I have all the time in the world for patient people. Probably shouldn't be doing it in the middle of a cast, But when you're by yourself, it can be very difficult to keep up a running commentary. So, we do what we can. A lot of reserve time here for both teams, so they got plenty of time to decide who they want to employ. The Lone Druid going to be picked here.
Dire's pick.
He prefers to go off lane, but if he is babysat, he can get those items that he needs up. And the Sniper going to be the carry for VDT. Okay, so some very interesting picks. I'm very happy about the Sand King. He's a personal favourite of mine. And keep in mind, this is a best of 3. So the teams have a little bit of leeway here to try out the new strats. We'll have to see what happens between the Clockwork and the Lone Druid. Both of them like going in the off lane. And I mean, Lone Druid scales off items a lot more because he does have 12 inventory slots. He likes to get the Radiance on his bear and all kinds of shenanigans. So just quickly get everything going. Mind Ager, apparently he called the Sniper before it actually happened because there's a delay on the Twitch stream. So well done to him. You guys are about to see that there's a Sniper, and it's going to be very exciting. There's a 2-minute delay on both Dota TV and on the stream. So, yeah, whatever I'm saying, you won't see for a little bit. So we'll introduce the teams representing Team So Who Are You. We have Snapshot on the Lone Druid. On the Clockwork, we have Classic and Friends. The Sand King will be played by Kitty Lumpkin Z97. Always difficult to see them when they're moving around. Passion of the Forest will be joining him. And in the mid lane, as the playmaking Magnus, we do have Philstar. And then representing the Vietnamese Dream Team, MG,
30
we
seconds
do
to
have
showtime.
KQT. He is the captain of the team. He'll be playing the Ogre Magi. He will be joined in the support role by Jack. And the Bounty Hunter offlane, we have Toki. The Sniper joining those guys up at top. Oh, I guess Lino probably isn't a guy. It is Miggles on the Sniper. And in the mid lane, wearing his hat, it is 7k on the Ember Spirit, who has had a few tangos donated to him, which will allow him to get to his bottle much quicker, or perhaps a Bracer. You don't have to go too defensive against Magnus, because once he throws out the Shockwave, there's not a heck of a lot that he can do. So we see the ward being placed in the top part of the river. Invisibility rune, will it be used by KQT here? Clockwork is going to use the cogs to block in the creeps. Will he be able to get any aggressiveness out of this rune? So yeah, like I was saying about Magnus, Shockwave is really his only nuke. He can't do too much else unless he all-ins you, and that takes a lot of... well, it takes a lot away from his gank, obviously. So I don't think he needs to be too defensive this early on. If he wants to go Bracer, Drums of Endurance, he will be able to. Now, up at the top lane, we are going to have the double fire come down from the supports here. Unfortunately for them, Miggles was not too interested in joining in on that. The Stout Shield going to pay itself off already with some of the damage reduction. But... he's going to be forced back for the time being. Doesn't pop the salve, so he's got that going for him. But Clockwork likes to hit level 6, so not having the best of times in the lane thus far. This is a nice thing about the Bounty Hunter. He can go invisible, and like I said before, all he needs is experience. So he'll be getting some harass-free experience there. We got pings going off by the Ogre Magi down in the bottom part here. They know that. The creep pulling will be going on. KQT going to be doing a similar thing over on the other side, and Clockwork picks up his first creep score with the rocket flare there in the mid. We can see 5 to Magnus and 5 to the Ember Spirit. So like we thought, it's a pretty passive lane at the moment. Toki just going to be running around behind enemy lines. Doesn't have too much left on his Shadow Walk duration, but the cooldown is quite low as well. He's going to try and get a bit of harass on the supports here, but they may be able to catch him out. They do have Shackle and Burrow Strike, so a lot of lockdown, but maybe don't have the follow-up. And now Toki going to once again invisibility himself up. There is a haste rune on the bot, which Toki has spotted out. will be pinging that for his Ember Spirit. And now Toki's actually pinging on the Sand King, but they decide to back off. This is giving Lone Druid a lot of nice free farm. That's exactly what we said he needs to do. Needs to get as much items for himself and his Panda Bear as possible, and he's doing a good job of that thus far. Toki going to be trying to take as much experience as he can. Haste Rune was bottled by 7k. He got that early bottle like we said, and now when he's got that Haste Rune and the supports are smoking down from the top lane, it means that Clockwork's gonna be... oh, he's actually in the base at the moment, and oh, where was that? There was a First Blood down at the bottom. Bear doesn't have Entangle, so is Magnus going to be in trouble here? He skewers into the tower, and the stun will come down. I don't think he can get away from this one. Sleight of Hand will shift tower aggro onto the Ogre Magi. Lena gets to the First Blood, which is not too bad at all. No, sorry, gets the kill, but First Blood going to Lone Druid is fantastic for Team Sway. I'm not quite sure how the Bounty Hunter managed to die. It was him who died, of course. I wish I could have caught that. I would think a Bounty Hunter would be safe, but of course there is a blue ward here, a sentry ward in the lane, so we can assume that caught him out. And then, I mean, we talked about the crowd control, the Burrow Strike, the shackles, and then Ether Shock does quite a bit of damage. 140 to a single target at level 1, which is a lot of damage, particularly when Bounty Hunter's only rocking the 500 himself. Now, the supports from Sway want to get a bit of revenge on this Ember Spirit. He does have 3 points in the Flame Guard, so he'll absorb 350 magic damage. Magnus is actually going to skewer him into the river here. I don't think the Ember Spirit can avoid this one. A lot of lockdown going on to him. Sleight of Hand will avoid him for the time being. Shackles will lock them in place for Philstar to get that kill under his belt. He'll be very happy with that revenge there, and regeneration spawns perfectly at the bottom part of the river. Either the support's going to go for it, no, they will secure it for the Magnus. He'll be very happy with that one. Is just over halfway towards his reverse polarity, and when he gets that, of course, he is going to be looking to make some action happen in the side lanes. How's the Clockwork doing? He's still only at the one last hit to Bounty Hunter, 7 and 2. So Toki doing very well for himself despite dying. We'll have a look at the net worth, 2100 for the Lone Druid. That's bad news for VDT. They're going to have to do something about that, but Bounty Hunter worth 100 more than the Clockwork. Speaking of Clockwork, doesn't have a teleport scroll, doesn't even have enough for it. The cogs not going to be enough to save him here. Who's going to get the kill? It will be Sniper. In the end, he's taking a lot of damage from the creeps and is forced back. Hopefully, for his sake, the flares don't come out. Another smoke popped by Team Sway here. They want to take down the Sniper. Will they be able to do it is the question. There's no blue ward around, so they're not going to get spotted. Is the Sniper going to get out in time? He doesn't have a Tango Pop. There it is. Can the supports do anything about this one? Ogre Magi just sitting over by the store. Sand King has been revealed. Jack is pointing out the fact that they have supports up in their grill. Doesn't look like much is going to happen. The Rocket Flare comes out and misses everyone. Meanwhile, down at the bottom lane, Lone Druid just farming up while his bear harasses poor Bounty Hunter, who does not yet have the track. Lone Druid almost has the true form, although he may opt for more points in the synergy. We'll have to see what he decides to go for. So we see a rotation of the supports up to the top. They want to try and what am I trying to say here? They don't want the supports of VTT to easily get this camp here, and they want to try and keep them under leveled, want to try and keep them back and get the Clockwork a little bit of money, which they're doing a great job of now. The Sniper is forced right back, but Shadow Shaman is quite squishy. He's going to be jumped on. Nice strike from the Sand King, but it will not be enough. The Sniper actually ends up getting that kill in the end. Sniper falling lower and lower. Will Clockwork be able to do anything? No. He's trying to get away. Nice Burrow Strike from the Sand King. Not only does that get the Clockwork out, it picks himself up a kill. Doesn't have the mana or the cooldown for his Sandstorm, so that will be a kill going to the Magi as well. And now Magnus is coming in. He wants some of this, and we have a pause from the Clockwork there. And we have some lag for Team Sway, so they'll need to try and fix that up. Skewer is available, as is Reverse Polarity, so the Vietnamese Dream Team, they've got to be careful. They know that Magnus is coming up. They've pinged it, so they're going to be ready to disengage. But Ogre Magi doesn't have the mana to stun him, or put a dot, or even to Bloodlust the Sniper out of there. Sniper has assassinated Will Magnus be able to catch up? He, of course, doesn't have the Blink Dagger, doesn't even have boots. And will it be enough? Snipers booking it out of there. Pings going down from the Magnus. Shadow Shaman, can he get in range to lay down any crowd control? No, he cannot. They're allowing Ember Spirit free farm. They've got to make something happen here, or it was all for nothing. Down at the bottom lane, Midas was picked up by the Lone Druid, so that economic advantage is going to only further from this point on if VDT don't do anything about it. But the Sniper getting quite built as well, and he has ridiculous range. So he'll be able to stay away from the Druid unless it entangles him. We have the Sand King returning to the bottom lane to do a little bit of creep pulling. And what I was trying to say before is Sway, they want to try and deny the supports having the having free access to the creep camp and try and shut them down. I believe it was a 2-for-1 in VDT's favor. Magnus still hasn't made anything happen here. They're just going to push TP in from the Bounty Hunter, and he is invisible. The Ogre Magi stuff going down. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, Clockwork is going to fall. The mid lane, Clockwork's going to fall. Skewer goes out by the Magnus. Can he escape? I think he will raise a Shuriken. Track goes off on the Magnus, and that's 2 kills picked up at the top and the mid lane. 1v1 in the mid. Ember Spirit takes down the Clockwork. That's very bad news for Team Sway. They do have their Lone Druid farming though, so they'll be happy with that one. Power Treads finished by the Sniper. Bounty Hunter just sitting up here. Is he going to go for the Medallion of Courage, or is he happy just sitting on the phase boots to be quick and trying to get that XP that he needs? Is going to throw the track out. We've got to keep in mind that every kill VDT get, if it is tracked, they will get bonus gold from it. Shout out to Mindager, who is keeping up and running commentary in the Twitch chat. Shout out to you, boss. Bounty Hunter going to be working his way up here. Magnus is still around. Reverse Polarity is still available. So BH going to be coming in from behind, going to... Well, they know that Magnus is there, obviously. Lena and Sniper going to be coming in. Janata used on the Shadow Shaman. Now Ember Spirit going to be going to get in here, but a nice Hex will stop him in his tracks for now. No sleight of hand will finish him up. Magnus going to throw out the Reverse Polarity, but it does not end up going off. And a double kill for the Ember Spirit. This is looking very similar to last night's game, where an Ember Spirit, if he picks up some items like the Desolator or the Crystallis, his sleight of hand will start hitting very, very hard indeed. Lone Druid, how is he going with his farm? He's going to pass the Midas over to the Druid, and he has popped the True Form, so going to continue pushing their Clockwork. You got to get out, boss. Doesn't have hook shot yet. Ember Spirit going to be going in, pops the cogs. Will it be enough for him to get out? No, sleight of hand. Going to whack him there. Magnus is... Oh, actually, Shockwave does a lot of damage. He does still have the RP up, but I don't think he can do much unless he manages to sneak up on Ogre Magi here. Fortification goes off to stop the pushing at the bottom lane. Lone Druid is going to use the battle cry that he gets when he's in the bear form and start pushing that out. He's going to disengage with his bear. Magnus going to continue farming. Sniper at 50, Lone Druid and Ember Spirit both at 39 apiece. So the CS doing fairly well for VDT. The Sway guy is not doing as well. Clockwork quite far behind. How far is he into level 5? He needs a little bit more experience before he hits a level 6. He'll be able to make some plays of his own. And a Magnus Clockwork combo has a lot of initiation, especially when Magnus gets the Blink Dagger. He's decided to go for Arcane Boots and Bottle, and he's not getting as fed as Magnus is like to get, so the Blink Dagger is still a fair way away, about 1800 gold, but he's working on it. And then, I mean, you couple that initiation with the Sand King and the Shadow Shaman, what he's able to put out, and VDT, they're going to have to further this lead even more, because simply put, their initiation is much more pseudo. It's not guaranteed like the Sway guys, or not guaranteed, but easier to good. Actually, the Ember Spirit going to be coming in to the bottom lane here. Lone Druid is in the True Form. Burrow Strike used by Sand King will not be enough, and Track will reveal him in the invisibility. That is a kill apiece to these guys down here. Ogre Magi coming in to support them, and the Shadow Shaman gets a level for himself. Where will he decide to put it? He puts it in the Ether Shock. As up at the top lane, Ember Spirit going to be knocked out of the cogs. Nice cogs there from Clockwork, and unfortunate placement for 7k. As Jack and Phil start in the mid. We still haven't seen many big Magnus plays at the moment. Down at the bottom lane, Bounty Hunter will end up getting taken down. The gold is split up. Now Ogre Magi is trying to pick up a kill for himself, but going to be forced out. The epicenter used by the Sand King will not do a whole heck of a lot. A Shadow Shaman trying to wait in the wings there. Magnus is coming in onto KQT. Will he get skewered? No, he manages to avoid it, but reverse polarity is available. Not going to need to use it, I think. Although, actually, he manages to get out in the end, thanks to the timely intervention of Bounty Hunter, who now has the Medallion of Courage, so he can make someone very squishy indeed. The Drums of Endurance has been finished by the Ember Spirit and Arcane Boots onto the Lina now. Lina, of course, played by Jack. And now BH, he is doing a little bit of reconnaissance. They know that the Shadow Shaman is there, and we're going to have a pause come out initiated by Miggles. We'll figure out soon, I hope so. A DD rune on the Ember Spirit, that is terrible news because, of course, Sleight of Hand will apply on-hit effects, and that includes your damage. So they're going to have to be very, very careful there. Lina is working towards a level 7. Dragon Slave starts doing a lot of damage. 280 on an 8-second cooldown. And she's going to have the mana to sustain it with both her and her fellow support having the mana boots. So BH is still behind the tower here. Would like to pick off this Shadow Shaman. It wouldn't take much, just attacking out of stealth with the Janata and then throwing Shuriken would be, and they quickly get out of there. Hopefully, for the Sand King's sake, he'll be able to react to that one. Doesn't have Epicenter though, because he did kind of waste it trying to get KQT, the captain of the Vietnamese Dream Team, managing to get out there. Reverse polarity, it may have been overkill, but they would have gotten something, and this Magnus hasn't had as much of an impact as he needs to. 45 CS, he's doing quite well in that regard, but when you have a Magnus mid, he needs to be making things happen for the team. So both of these teams making sure the other is ready to go before resuming. BH just going to sit in the trees for the time being, as the VDT team is just going to try and save this tower. It's not looking the healthiest there, as what's going to happen, and just as we said, Toki going to take down the Shadow Shaman as he steps away from the safety of the tower. Didn't manage to catch it, but yeah, we kind of saw that coming if the Shadow Shaman wasn't careful, which of course he wasn't. BH going to continue waiting around here, excellently skirting the edge of the detection radius on the tower. Meanwhile, Clockwork is starting to catch up very well. He is around about the same CS as the Sand King, but of course doing that strategy right there. BH is going to jump onto the Lone Druid and will once again stealth out. Some blue wards really need to be placed down here. Shadow Shaman's coming in, doesn't have any blue wards though, as we have drawings coming out from the Lone Druid. They know in the general area that Bounty Hunter is in. Track goes off on a Shadow Shaman. Poor guy is mincemeat for the BH at the moment. They know he's around here, and actually hookshot's going to land on to Jack. He'll quickly go down. Ember Spirit going to be coming in here. Shackles used during the sleight of hand. Clockwork going to be taken down very, very quickly. And now a lot of AoE damage going down. Will Toki end up falling? The wards are down, and they will get the last hit on the Bounty Hunter, but that is 2 for 4 in the favor of the Vietnamese Dream Team. Sniper and Magnus up at the top lane. Magnus should have TP'd down. He was really needed in that fight. Now the bottom tower could be in trouble. That DD rune just does so much for the Ember Spirit. Beautifully done by VTT. They only lost the Bounty Hunter and the Lina, both of which kind of got caught out, as we have the multicast Bloodlust going off there. KQT opting for Bloodlust levels over the Ignite, so favors boosting his team's damage rather than you know, applying an AoE slow that does a dot as well. And I mean, when you've got an Ember Spirit doing this well, he's got a Mithril Hammer, so he could be going for the BKB, could be going for Desolator. Of course, Desolator will proc on every single person he hits in the Sleight of Fist, making them further squishy for the Bounty Hunter and the Sniper. And the Sniper is really a big problem with the 80 CS that he's got, and he has a Midas, so he's farming very, very well. Smoke is used down here. Ember Spirit going to be sprinting in with the haste. Lone Druid fairly tanky in the Lone Druid form. He does get a bunch of armor. He's at 11 at the moment with 1500 health, but will it be enough? Bounty Hunter's going to take down Magnus up at the top lane, and with a multicast of that magnitude, Lone Druid has no chance of getting out of that one. 2 for 0 across the map. Magnus is having a very difficult time making an impact on this game. Jack going to be hanging around on the wings, which got him in trouble with Clockwork last time, but he is safe for the time being. This Ember Spirit, very, very powerful now that he is introduced into the draft.
Radiant's
And not a
bottom
lot of
tower
players
seen
know
better
how to deal with
days.
that. The bottom tier 1 going to be worked on here. Not a single tower has gone down in the 15.5 minutes this game's been going on, because a lot of it has been focused on the killing. As you can see, 24 deaths have occurred, with the bounty hunter continuing to throw out the reconnaissance missions. We have phase boots on the... oh, actually, Lena's going to take down the Clockwork down at the bottom. Magnus is in here. He has used the reverse polarity. Nice shackle on to the Ember Spirit, but sleight of hand will stop him. Oh, taking the tower aggro. 4 for 1 down at the bottom lane. Sorry, I missed the start of that one, but that is awful for Team Sway here. Where is the last member of their team, the Lone Druid? He is still at the bottom lane. Lena waiting off. Ember Spirit going to be revenanting his way in. And he is indeed going for the Desolator. Lone Druid forced under the tower. The Serpent Wards will ward away the Ember Spirit for the time being, no pun intended. But a Lone Druid that isn't farming is not a very effective one. And meanwhile, up at the top lane, Sniper going to take down the tower and just farm his way into oblivion. He's got the Maelstrom, so waves fall very quickly to him. At the bottom lane, we have the teleport coming in by the Sand King. Will he be in time to save the Lone Druid? Beautiful Burrow Strike there, hits both of them. The Sandstorm doing a lot of damage. Sleight of Hand will get the kill there, and Ember Spirit manages to avoid the cogs of the Clockwork. Bounty Hunter is here in the wing. Sand King almost has his stealth back up, and the Bounty Hunter will escape for the time being. Sleight of Hand gets the Sand King very low, and Shuriken will finish that one off. They know that he's there now. Jack gonna throw out the Light Strike away, and it does land on the Clockwork, but the Ether Shock will be enough to finish that one off. Nice cogs from the Clockwork to ward off the Bounty Hunter. Magnus Skewer doesn't do too much, and Toki is going to limp his way out of there. Another 4 for 1 with the Ogre Magi taking down Sir Classic and friends off to the side. GG being called by Team Sway at the 17.5 minute mark, and that may be all she wrote for the game. And it will indeed. Beautifully played by the Vietnamese Dream Team here. I don't know why I brought the title screen up. So, what ends up being a very quick game after Sway did quite well at the start, but they just fell further and further behind. One mid had a lot of impact, the other did not, and you can see the difference in the items here. Did not go Team Sway's way at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be bringing you Game 2 in just a minute. We'll have to see if So Who Are You have something up their sleeves for the next game, or will the Vietnamese powerhouses take another sweep away. Of course, I forgot to mention, guys, that Sway are 2-0-1 this week, VDT 3-0-0. So VDT have won their 3 games, Sway have won 2 and lost 1. So thank you for tuning in. We'll be back with our next series. This is Cold Blood signing out.